Hello, everyone. I'm here with Yasmin Magal. She's one of the family members of Omar, who's been kept hostage in Gaza right now. Yasmin, what do you know about Omar and what happened on October 7th?
Omer was kidnapped on October the 7th. He was around New Oz Nirim kibbutz, and he was taken with his teammates into Gaza. Two of them were killed and their bodies taken, and two were taken alive, Omer and one other team member. And we know that they were taken alive and uninjured, and I don't know anything since.
Yasmin is also a Canadian and she has been on a tour to Canada right now. Right now, she's a medical student in Israel. Tell us what your experience has been so far while you have been in Canada, and tell us about how you have been. Working since October 7th, trying to bring the hostages back.
So I met with a lot of officials and a lot of communities. The public reaction overall, I feel like I've been getting a lot of support quietly and a lot of hate loudly. So the people who disagree with me and the people who I guess disagree with freeing hostages, they allow themselves to yell at me in the street and be violent. And the people who support me, they approach me quietly and they tell me that they support me and that to keep doing what I do and that they like my t-shirt, and they don't speak up. And I mean, I appreciate all the support, but I feel like people shouldn't stay silent and people should speak up and support me with their voice.
Yasmin, could you tell a story about what happened just when you were at the rally, the vigil yesterday? And would you like to tell our audience what's really happening on the streets for anybody who's trying to participate in events that bring the hostages back?
Yes, so yesterday I participated in a rally and a march here in Vancouver, and throughout the march, we got a lot of calls and hateful yells towards us. And after the march ended, I was also interviewed. I had 2 interviews right after, and some of the counter protesters followed me around with loud music, so the interviewers wouldn't be able to interview me. And they also looked at me while ripping posters of hostages and other supportive posters. So I guess that was pretty cruel. I mean, you see a family member of a hostage and you rip out posters.
As a young person, what is your experience among the young people, I would say under 25, and especially with your friends who you grew up in Calgary with?
Yeah, so I graduated from high school in Calgary, and so a lot of my social media friends are from Calgary, and a lot of my high school friends are. And some of them have been supportive, but a lot of them also have blocked me on social media or argued with me, started to tell me that I need to educate myself. I mean, I'm living, this is my life this is my experience that I'm going through, and they're telling me that I need to educate myself and that what I'm posting about is wrong. I'm just posting about my hostage cousin, and they're telling me that this is propaganda, and then they block me. So I mean, it's kind of I think it's dangerous and it's scary because I mean, we went to the same social class together. We know the definition of the words that they're using, and they're misusing them, and it's dangerous, and it makes me scared for the future of this country as well.
Tell us more about Omar and the situation about his family and the close ones back home in Israel.
So Omer he's 22 years old. His birthday was a week after he was kidnapped. So he was kidnapped when he was 21. A week later, he turned 22 in captivity. And he was born and he grew up in the United States. He's an American citizen. He's a Jewish boy, so he grew up in the Jewish community in Long Island, went to Jewish school, Jewish youth groups, camps in the summer. And after he graduated from high school, like a lot of other Jewish kids, he went to do a gap year in Israel before going to university. He fell in love with Israel, and he decided to stay and draft to the IDF and postpone his studies again, even though he was already accepted into university back home in the States. So he did that. He drafted, and he was stationed near the Gaza border on the Israeli side to protect. And the rest I already said in the beginning. The team was all kidnapped. Half of the team was murdered and their bodies taken. What I can tell you about Omer as a cousin is that he's a natural born leader and he's very athletic. Growing up, he was the captain of the volleyball, soccer, and basketball teams all together in high school. So that's really impressive. He's competitive. We like to play board games a lot, and he always wins. And if he doesn't, we have to play again until he wins. He loves cats a lot. He has 2 cats back at home in Long Island, but Israel has all the cats, so he loves Israel for that as well. He feeds the cats in Israel. He adopts them. He's the type of guy that saves the cat. Even if the cat doesn't need saving, he'll save the cat, and that's what's so great about him. He's just such a great human being. Makes everyone feel welcome and so good about themselves, and he's a crucial part of the puzzle for us, and we miss him a lot.
Anything else you want to share?
I just want the Canadian society to be united behind this. This is hostage taking. This isn't a debate. Everyone should agree that hostage taking is wrong and should fight to free the hostages. I would expect my government and my country to be behind me and fight with me. I'm not supposed to be fighting alone. This is my cousin who's an American over there. If it happened to my family, Canadian and American, it could happen to anyone, and people need to understand that and help me prevent this from ever happening again, and help me free Omer. Bring Omer home.
All right, thank you. And that was Yasmin, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you so much for having me.